Hi, I just wanted to say a couple of words about the USSR. Do you remember the USSR? Well, if you are from Russia or from any of the countries who were once part of the USSR, it must seem, well, depending on how old you are, it must seem like either an ancient mystery or a memory from the distant past. And I don't know what this says about me, but the USSR is not a memory from my distant past. It was very much a part of my growing up. And I have to admit that it was a source of fear and concern and curiosity and mystery, mostly because the only Russian people that I saw were in James Bond movies or were that wacky Russian woman in Hogan's Heroes, Hogan, darling, or and then of course the other people were the Romanians, usually the Romanian gymnasts like Nadia Comaneci or the Russian gymnast Olga Korbut. And of course I had big crushes on them, so I was always curious what their lives were like. And I remember actually that in the Olympics in 1976, they did a sort of a profile of what, I don't remember whether the profile was what her life was like in Romania or what her life was like while she visited the US for the Olympics. I think the Olympics were in Montreal. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It's just that I know a lot of the information that I got about the USSR was totally wrong. And it's so amazing nowadays to meet people who are Russian or who are from countries that were once part of the USSR. And many of them I'd only heard about in fairy tales. Or, they were sort of spoken about as like they didn't really exist anymore, like Lithuania, it was like, well, it was once an ancient country, but it was all now part of the USSR, and so therefore it didn't really exist anymore. And the amazing thing was that the breakup of the USSR, the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics, was that all these countries reemerged and suddenly resumed their names. And for me, it was mind-boggling, frankly. And I was just sitting here in the U.S., but that's kind of the way I was seeing this whole new world opening up. And I've loved every second of meeting all of the people that I have met over the years, Polish, Czech, Lithuanian, Romanian, Bosnian, Russian. I mean, it's incredible. And welcome. I'm so glad that I actually get to know some of you and talk to you. And I only wish that we could have done it sooner, because the whole time I was growing up, I was wondering what your lives were like and what you were going through. And I hope that your lives are and were happy. And I'm glad to have you now as part of the U.S.